sexies! My name is Azalea. I'm a human animal trainer. Today's video is about how to approach a human animal that you might encounter. Now there still aren't that many human animals out there, but if you're going to any adult-themed events or parties or conventions, you might end up encountering a human animal. So what the heck do you do if you find one? Or if one approaches you? So the way to approach a human animal is basically the same way you'd approach a bio-animal or a real animal, which is that you can walk over to it and put out your hand. Just put your hand out and let them smell your hand and see that you're a nice, safe person. And then let them decide. Let the human animal decide what level of interaction they're comfortable with you. So some human animals will see you walking towards them and will walk the other direction. That's okay. And you have to let them have that space and let them non-verbally communicate that they're not interested in interacting with you. Try not to take it too personally. Other animals will see your hand and instantly sort of put their head under your hand and be like asking for scritches, like, oh yeah, please, please, please pet me, this is great. Scritches, of course, being this all over the head. And some other animals are more hesitant, and so when you put out your hand, they will sort of back off a little bit and kind of look at you, take another step forward, and kind of take a little bit of time to decide if you're a person they're comfortable interacting with. Go at their pace. And if they've decided that they want to interact with you, that's great. Then again, you would treat them basically as you would treat a bio-animal. You can pet them. If they have a toy, you can play with them with the toy and gently play tug-of-war with them. Human mouths are not as strong as animal mouths, so be careful when you're playing tug-of-war with a human animal. You can play fetch. I just realized I'm almost entirely talking about human puppies. But I do believe that they are the most common, so they're the ones you're most likely to run into. If they're a kitty, maybe they just want to be petted, maybe cuddled a little bit, see if there are any treats that you can give them, see if they have a little toy to chase. If they're a more exotic animal that you wouldn't normally see as a household pet, it might be a little bit trickier to determine how exactly to interact with them, but I'll talk some more about exotic human animals in a later video. One thing I'd like to note is that if there's a human animal wearing a collar, sometimes that means that they are owned, and other times it means that they like wearing a collar, and that it's a signifier that they are an animal or they are a pet. So find a way to check in with them. Maybe ask them, like, is your owner here? Do you have a person? There are a lot of pets who don't have owners, and a lot of them wear collars, and that doesn't necessarily signify that they belong to somebody, but it can. If there's a human animal that is attached to a leash or a harness, and there is another person, or another human animal sometimes, and that leash is being held by another person. This varies from person to person, but I would personally err on the side of asking the person holding the leash if it's okay to pet their pet. Is it okay if I say hi to your pet? Are they nice? Are they safe? Is there a treat I can give them? So check in with the person holding the leash. Sometimes you'll ask the person holding the leash, hey, is it okay if I pet your animal? And they'll be like, ask them. It's up to them. But in general, pretty safe to assume that the person holding the leash is usually in charge of their pet's